Hello, welcome to Apocalypse Otaku. I am your host, Shar, and I know I have not been on for a short bit, but I was in the hospital. No, not for what you think. I had other problems going on, so I am back and better than ever. So, on that note, I am here to give you your Adult Swim schedule, your anime voice actor birthdays, your new releases, and some MCU news. So, starting with your anime voice actor birthdays. Oh, let's see. Today's the 15th of February. And there's no birthdays. So, we'll go on to the new releases, which came out today. Berserk, the complete series, which of course is on Blu-ray. By the Grace of the Gods, Season 1. And you can either get that in limited edition or standard edition. Now, this one's on DVD. Dirty Hentai Concubines. Yeah. Yes. And we're going back to Blu-ray. No, we're not going to say anything about that. Dr. Stone, Season 1. And that's a steel book, by the way. King's Raid, Successors of the Will, Part 1. My Hero Academia, Season 4, Complete Collection. Samurai Girls and Samurai Bride. And Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, Season 1, Part 1. And you can get that regular or limited edition. On my screen, it just says Blu-ray or Blu-ray with limited edition. So, now we are going to go on to our MCU news. And apparently, according to Giant Freaking Robot, that's the name of the site, and the name of the article is Exclusive. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 is actually in the works. Before there was Tom Holland, before there was Andrew Garfield, and even before there was a Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Originally in 3 movies for Sony. There were serious plans for a 4th. In fact, years were spent trying to make Spider-Man 4 happen for a 2011 release date. But instead, the movie was scrapped. in 2010. And a reboot with Andrew Garfield graced the screens instead. While that reboot turned into its own phenomenon, so much work was done on Spider-Man 4 that fans have remained curious about what could have been. Over a decade later, the conversation hasn't stopped over some work from a trusted and proven inside source for Giant Freaking Robot. We have learned that Sony is currently revisiting the idea of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 in a new way. Our source shared that because of the huge success, Sony, has recently seen with Spider-Man. They are considering making Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4. The current idea is to tell the fourth story as an animated movie. Ooh, I don't know. The style would be something similar to what fans have loved with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I really don't know about this. While we learn that Sony is considering this, it sounds like it's still in the early stages, which makes sense. There's a lot happening for Marvel and Sony with Spider-Man right now. Still, we have a lot of questions, most of which the studio may currently be working on themselves. While they're looking at creating the project right now with Tobey Maguire, would Kirsten Dunst be involved? She played Mary Jane Watson in the first 3 films when Spider-Man 4 was discussed. Director Sam Raimi said he couldn't imagine making another one without her. At the same time, she wasn't confirmed for the sequel when it was eventually canceled. Another interesting question here is, at what point in the timeline Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4 would pick up? Animation leaves a lot of room for options here. Potentially, an animated Spider-Man 4 could pick up right here where Spider-Man 3 left off, with Tobey Maguire asking Kirsten Dunst for a dance. The original plans for the live action version aren't likely to be held too tightly. It's been reported that Vulture would have been the main villain, with Anne Hathaway playing Felicia Hardy, Black Cat. For those of you who don't know who that is. However, one of the main reasons it was dropped was that director Sam Raimi hated the story they had. Let's see. This paragraph contains some spoilers that I'm about to read for SpiderMan No Way Home. So if you haven't seen it, please mute it. Okay. Spider-Man No Way Home revealed a little about Tobey Maguire's life since Spider-Man 3. It's said that he was still with Mary Jane, but it didn't claim that they were married. It's possible they are. It just wasn't said. As Peter Parker arrived in Tom Holland's world, he wore his Spider-Man suit under his clothes. So it's known that at 40 years old, he was still crime fighting at the top of a hat, at a drop of a hat. Despite his back problems, would a new Spider-Man 4 tell more about what Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker went through all those years up to No Way Home, or take place after? Picking up shortly after Spider-Man 3 seems the most likely. That would be part of the advantage to using animation instead of live action for this new project with Tobey Maguire. In No Way Home, it was mentioned that Mary Jane and Peter Parker were married, but that it wasn't easy. Since Spider-Man 3 ended with the two dancing, it would seem natural for Spider-Man 4 to explore more of how they made their odd relationship work. It'll be an interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see if they get Kirsten Dunst on board for an animated sequel, or if Sam Raimi, the original filmmaker, gets involved this time around. His career has been live action focused, but he's currently back in the game on superhero films for Marvel with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Maybe he's ready to join Tobey Maguire in a Spider-Man 4 project now. We can wish Sony all the luck with making it happen. So what do you think? Would you like to see a Spider-Man for with Tobey Maguire, not live action but animated? If so, or if not, uh just leave a comment down below or send it to ApocalypseOtalk1 on Twitter. And now we're going to go to the Adult Swim schedule for tonight. Starting at 8 o'clock is King of the Hill. And then at 9 o'clock, Bob's Burgers. 10 o'clock, Futurama. At 11 o'clock, American Dad. At midnight, Rick and Morty. At 12:30, Robot Chicken. At 1 a.m. is Bird Girl. 1:30, Futurama. 2:30 is American Dad. 3 a.m., Rick and Morty. 3:30, Robot Chicken. And then at 4 a.m. is Black Dynamite. 4:30, Bob's Burgers. And to finish out your night at 5:30 is going to be King of the Hill. So if you are not subscribed, please go ahead and do that. Now, hit that subscription button and ring that bell. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. And send our link to your friends, family, whoever likes anime or the MCU or both. And on that note, I'll see you guys tomorrow in the next video.